and welcome back to this Exanima tutorial series. We are here on level 3 of the Exanima dungeons, and this is part of a larger series, so if you need to be on a different video with a different floor, check out the description or the playlist to get to the part that you need. But here on floor 3, we are going to be looking for these key items. We're going to be looking for the night vision helmet. We're going to find the 1.5-handed sword, the executioner's sword, and a healing salve. Let's get to it. So here we are. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop off Darren in a safe location yet again. What I like to do is just come over here to the first room, and we'll drop him off here. I do notice right away that I do have a spell ready also. So let's take a look. It was strikes, so that's super awesome. We're just always going to be hitting harder now, essentially. So we'll be able to turn that on. We also have to choose a new thing, and I think I'll start going for barrier. So let's go ahead and throw strikes on the hotbar, and we'll turn it on. Boom. So you can see now our weapon is glowing with force energy that will just do some extra damage, as far as I understand. And let's get to it. Nope, this is the way out. Don't do that. That would bring you back to floor 2. There's 2 ways to get to floor 3, either by going through the crypts, which is what we did, or straight from floor 2 as well. 1 hit to the head and they are out. The power of force weapons. We have become Death Destroyer of Undead. Alright. Sir? Rude? Rude and uncalled for what you're doing. He ducked it. He didn't duck that one. Okay. So pretty quickly here. So first off, there's this room here. Stab him. Side of the head. See, these undead, it's starting to get a little bit easy, right? Once you get to this stage of the game, the undead get a little bit easy, but don't worry, we won't be having a great time for long. Hello, sir. These ones are mostly all aggroed as well. There's less of them that just stand around. Doesn't mean they won't all, you know, some of them will be docile, but a lot less. So in this room, we have a few little chests, nothing to write home about. Also, nothing really in here. Just exploring every avenue. But here, this is an important room. It may not look like much, but trust me, it's very important. If you don't want spoilers for major things, click away now. But if you don't mind, this is a pretty great spot. See this little rock in the wall here? Double click it. Look at that. Grab it like a door. Actually, I think the jars will fall off, won't they? That's pretty cool. Should notice that. And in here, we got a box, and inside we have a lovely helmet. When you wear this helm, you are able to make out your surroundings even in complete darkness. This is such a key item. And the reason why is because as soon as we plop this on our head, we can give this to Darren. We'll hang on to it for a minute. Now we don't need the torch out anymore. Look at this. It was dark in this room. Actually, I'll take off the helmet for a moment so you can see. That's how dark it is in this room. With the helmet, we can see. So with that, now we don't need to keep the torch out all the time. On our primary, we can actually hold a sword and board, which is pretty great. Or, you know, we're free to use 2-handed weapons anywhere, not just in well-lit areas. So that is an absolute game changer. The game also gets a lot more quiet and eerie because you don't have the torch keeping you company, but overall, it's a very nice change. So this is another little side issue here is that once we get to this part of the game, the healing salves are no longer in set locations. Now they are in a random chest anywhere in the dungeon. That means we need to take our time and look in every single chest, because if we don't, we could miss the healing salve, and we really don't want to do that, right? So at this point, I'll probably try to skip ahead a little bit so you don't need to watch everything. All right, so I've done a lot of the searching so far, but there's still a lot of searching left to do. One of the main areas here for searching is this huge hallway of like bedrooms. There's a lot to be got in here, so it's very tricky. You have to be very careful to notice where all the different, there we go, where all the different chests are. And sometimes you're lucky and you find it pretty quickly. This time it didn't take me that long, and now I don't need to be as careful, which is nice. Still good to get as many chests as possible, clearly. But once you have it, you don't need to be as worried about it anymore. Oh, I just split his head in half. That was disgusting, but kind of amazing at the same time. So yeah, I'm going to basically ignore a ton of the rooms that I'd normally have to run down and check, which is really nice. I can just run straight this way. And we're going to fight our first boss. Now, I would put some quotation marks around this boss, because it's not really that hard usually. They are pretty quick to attack. They've got a really nice sword. But look, they don't have head armor, so if we can hit them in the head with one of these strikes, knock them over, hit them with a downward strike. Ooh, they got me with a good one. There we go. Alright, well, they did some damage. Can't be too mad about that. That was pretty nice for them. I mean, they caught me with a really sneaky one there. They were still getting up, and they swung wildly. So, I mean, it does just happen sometimes. Now, this sword is technically better than the one I'm using, I feel like. It's got a longer reach to it. It otherwise has slightly higher slash and a slightly slower swing. And a bit more impact. So, overall, I like it a bit more, but you know, your mileage may vary. Well, we got another skill, and at this point, our encumbrance is up so high that I'm just going to get another maneuvering and armor point. So let's go ahead and start working towards that. Now, over here, there is a chasm, but luckily there is a very handy-dandy plank of wood. WASD to turn it, by the way. We just want to put that across right here and run across. So down here is the blacksmith's quarters. And inside we're going to find this person. Right across the face. And as I mentioned before, I would normally be looking for every single chest all over the place here, but luckily we already found the healing salve, so we can really cool it. Here is the key for the blacksmith's secret room. So we're going to grab that for sure. That's why we were here. And then we can go down and grab, I believe, one of our last key items for this area for level 3. Ooh, right into the wall. So instead of going back across the chasm, we can go over this section here. And when we come in here, this is the blacksmith's workshop. And there's a ton of weapons in here that you can choose from, much like the armory. And the major difference is, well, I think some of these can be nicer. They do seem to be in pretty bad condition usually. But there is one really good thing to get in here. So you come back in this little hallway here. A bunch of stuff you can find here as well, like some daggers, some bucklers, all sorts of things. But there is a locked door. That is the blacksmith's key. You can leave that there. And inside we will find a lockbox with an executioner's sword. So this thing is super sweet. It does not have a pierce, but it does have a lot of impact and a lot of slash. It's a really nice option for just like all-around combat. However, may not have quite enough bludgeoning for some of the enemies we're going to need to fight. Well, that killed him, which is pretty great. Oh, there's another. Man, there's so many enemies in here. What do you need, sir? That's a really scary weapon, actually. That's like a war axe thing. But luckily, wow, we took him out. That is a battle axe. That is super powerful. But not really, like, it's kind of an all-arounder. If you look at it, like, there's a little bit of damage on everything. So the level 3 shortcut key is actually right around here. I'm trying to remember. I think it's in one of these boxes, maybe. Yep, there it is. That sounded so, put on. Like, oh, I think it's around here, and, like, I find it right away. But I promise you, I did not remember exactly where it was. So that's going to let us go back down and pick up Darren. If we can remember exactly how to get there. Which I think I do. No, that's not it. That's the bathroom. There we go. That's the hallway I was looking for. I believe it's for this door right here. There we go. It's another single-use key, so we can just drop it. And here is Darren, waiting patiently. Come on, Darren. Time to go. Now, we are nearing the end of this episode because we got lucky on the healing salve. Otherwise, there would have been a lot more stuff we would have had to loot. But because of that, we're going to just run down here, avoiding all these extra rooms. However, it's not over yet. There's a couple more enemies who are going to try and do their best to stop me. And because of that, I'm going to need to wait for Darren to catch up here. I didn't lose him, did I? There he is. We're going to have Darren wait here, because there's a couple more enemies up here, which are going to be a little bit tricky. You know what? Let's use the Executioner's Sword. Hello, sir. I challenge you to a duel. I said I challenge you to a duel. Okay, now you're down. Come on. Maybe swing the other way? Whoa! I think he hit us directly in the protection. Got him with that one a little bit. None of these have been all that exciting. That one was nice. That one was nice. There we go. Those are some big hits. And that is not all. There should be one more. There he is. Now this one doesn't have armor. Not that worried about this one. Watch, this is the one that messes me up. Because I said that. He is faster because of the no armor, so be aware of that. Just dodge a strike and then get in there. Dodge a strike. And try to move with it like that. You'll get a nicer hit that way. So, anyhow. We got them down. Let's check this other one for his armor real quick. Just see if it's any good for Darren. Usually these skeletons are rocking some pretty rusty old armor. In this case, he was. So we'll leave that alone. And with that, we have got all the things we came to get. We got the night vision helmet. We got the Executioner's Sword. The 1.5 hand sword. Is that what it's called, really? 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 sword. All right. And we are finding the very first checkpoint of the game here, the portal. It will bring us to level 4, the archives, and in that video, we'll get a bunch more cool stuff. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's hop in.